What's up guys, it's Punchy, and all I gotta say is that it's about time. For many years, since the release of Deepwoken, I've been waiting. We've all been waiting for this sort of oath, and finally, it's arrived. If you don't know what's up, I lead the Apothecary with a few friends, a guild solely based on the discovery and application of all things alchemy. You'll know it when you see us, but I'm excited to show you what's actually happening. It's time for the Alchemy Saltchemist Oath. As shown in game, the Saltchemist Oath is extremely clean with a distinct oath visual containing a special needle arm modification with 3 different empty vials. This special arm is tethered to the user, and these glass containers on the side actually have a lot to do with how this oath functions. I'll start off with a showcase and some ways to use this oath, followed up by how to actually obtain it. Checking out the actual card of the Saltchemist Oath, it states, "You vow to dedicate yourself to the furthering of material arts." Basically, no nonsense magic. Knowledge is power, and you shall be its vessel. Followed up by this, you'll notice that we have a weak improvement of only +1 wildcard slots and +1 support mantras, as well as a +20 carry load, presumably for our potions. I'll explain why this isn't really a bad thing, because we don't need mantras to be a salt chemist. I'll be honest, the absolute worst part of being an alchemist in-game, and the main reason why players don't pursue the path of alchemy, is farming for ingredients and resource management. It kinda sucks to keep on looking for ingredients to craft up these potions, and if you waste them, you gotta do it all over again. This oath tries to tackle these problems and provides a very interesting solution. The first talent, Perpetual Distillery, states you gain 3 auto brew slots that will automatically produce 3 concoctions of your choice. If we take a look around, we'll notice a tool inside our inventory called Perpetual Distillery. It says drag and drop a potion to imprint it as one of your auto brews. Basically, we can make any potion we want normally in a cauldron, or pick one up from anywhere and slap it inside our Perpetual Distillery. These potions inside scale off the user's intelligence, so make sure you have 102 to maximize that potency. Once you have 3 specific potions inside your Perpetual Distillery, you can toggle them to be thrown or for drinking. This will determine what action your in-game auto brew slots do, so keep this in mind, and you can always change them. Depending on the color of your potion inside the distillery, the vials strapped to your arm will change, and I absolutely love this feature. Anyway, every setup auto brew slot inside your distillery will take the form as a tool that can be used, so every time we click on these tools, the potion inside is either thrown or used normally like you set it up inside the distillery. The crazy part about this talent is that it turns whatever potions you put inside into potions that never run out and instead have a cooldown. Instead of having to replace these potions, you have 3 auto brew slots that function just like mantras, and you can use them however you like when these slots are off cooldown. This is super great, and you want to keep your staple potions inside the distillery for in-combat interactions. It's time to move on to the special ingredients that are new just for this oath. In-game, potions have a very specific amount of materials required, and too many will just ruin them or make them unusable. You're only allowed to craft with 5 materials maximum. It could be 3 goblettos plus 2 brown caps or whatever you want, but it must add up to 5 in total. These ingredients, or salts, do not take up a slot. Let's start with the first, aromatic salts. Alter your brews to create lingering clouds of mist on shattering. Found inside your inventory as a tool, you can place these into a cooking cauldron to make any potion AoE or area of effect. When throwing, an AoE potion will last on the ground, applying an extended effect over a period of time. For damaging poison potions, this is going to do less initial damage, but it can add up over time that entirely controls a zone as well. The same can be said about healing potions. The heal isn't as great at first, but it slowly ramps up and out heals the original unmodified potion. Moving on to the next, biotic salts. Alter your brews to not provide their positive effects to your enemies. This can be found inside the same exact spot as the last salt, and it works the same way as well. This option is simple, and it's way easier to help out friends in combat with this sort of potion. It's a little bit less applicable in combat if you're a solo player or solo salt chemist, but if you want to mix together a cloud producing potion with this biotic salt, you can provide all the positive buffs to your friends while ignoring the enemy inside. Moving on to the last and final salt, this is something that very well, might just break the game. Antithetic salts. Alter your brews to invert their effects. That That's all it does. It reverses what you have and makes it either positive or negative, but whatever it is, it makes it the opposite. Potions that would normally drain ether can also be reversed to provide infinite ether. So, 3 calabash plus 2 reds and an antithetic salt, you're no longer losing ether. Anything you can think of is possible with this oath, and it seems insane for normal gameplay and support, I guess, if you want to. You don't have to run a ton of potions as a salt chemist, because no matter what, you'll still have that Perpetual Distillery. Let's move on to the Obtainment. To obtain this oath, I think you must have all alchemy talents from the apothecary tree, and the stats are also pretty costly. I think it's either 75 intelligence or 80, but on most builds for alchemy, you probably want to run 100 anyway, so 100 is safe. In order to unlock this oath, we must first head on over to Hive to obtain the Harvester talent. There's an NPC inside the cave right in front of the Widow that asks for a few different potions that you can craft. After making 3 that she has requested, you will obtain the Harvester talent, and now we can actually get the oath. After this, it's time to head on over to Ferryman's Isle to meet our new oath trainer. There's a capper inside that requires you have the Harvester quest completed to start this quest. He then says we must craft some sort of root, and we also have to have a few different things. We need a single lotus, which can be found inside any void zone, stardust found at any tree, and the celestial ichor, which can be found at the Star Kindred tree. For this blood, we must go all the way back to the Star Kindred trainer, scoop up some blood with our canteen, and head on back, and this should reward you with an oath after you craft this inside of your inventory. To simply upgrade the Salt Chemist Oath, you will need a couple of things, and to refine and craft the distillery, we must collect stardust, pluripotent alloy, and a vibrant gem. And that's about it. We have all of our moves, and I'll have to do some experimentation with this oath. Thanks so much for watching. It's punchin' time.